If you have ever held back from talking about your services or promoting your offers because you were worried that you sounded too salesy, this video is for you because I'm going to be sharing my process for figuring out whether or not your copywriting and messaging is salesy so you can make sure that you're communicating why your ideal client should buy from you in a way that feels good to you and your audience. Hey there, I'm Elli Runkles and I help online business owners write copy and create content as part of a seamless and connected content marketing system that leads to real business results like sales and clients every day. One of the ways that I help my clients is through copy revisions where I review what they're working on in their business and help them refine it so that they're communicating their message effectively. And most of the time we are working on conversion-focused copy, so sales pages or sales emails or content specifically focused on selling their paid offers. And one of the most common questions I get asked all the time is whether or not their copy sounds salesy. So do you think this sounds too salesy? Am I being too salesy? I hear questions like that all the time. And 9 times out of 10, when I go and take a look at what they've written, it is not salesy, not at all. I think this is so important to pay attention to because when your intentions are to not be salesy and you genuinely care about serving people and not coming across as salesy, you usually don't. You usually don't come across as salesy if that is not your intention. And so the best way to determine whether or not you're being salesy is to look at your intentions. If you are asking yourself whether or not you're being too salesy, that tells me that your intention is to not be salesy. And people who truly are salesy and who are willing to do whatever it takes to make the sale at any cost, they aren't asking themselves that question because they're not worried about whether or not they're salesy. They're just out being salesy. So if you ask yourself that question about whether or not you're being too salesy and you examine your intentions and can see that you have your ideal client's best interests at heart, you have a genuine desire to serve your audience through your business, and you know that what you're selling can have a positive impact in people's lives, then selling is a good thing and it's helping people get closer to that desired outcome that they want. And that is not being salesy. If, on the other hand, you examine your motives and realize that you're feeling really desperate to sign a client and the main thing you're thinking about is how I have to get a client or I'm not going to make it to the end of the month, or you're really focused on what's in it for you and why you need to sign a client and why you need to make the sale, if that's the case for you, you may want to step away from whatever sales message that you're working on and spend some time refocusing your attention onto your ideal clients and how you can show up in a way that's going to be of service to them. Because when you are selling from that place, from a place where you care about who you're talking to, you know that you have something valuable for them and you care about making an impact in their life, selling becomes so much easier and it feels so much better for everyone involved and it does not come across as salesy. And when you can refocus your attention on the ideal client who you're trying to serve, not only will this help you to feel better about the message that you're sending to your audience, but they will feel better and be more responsive to it as well. Now, I want to share a few things with you that come up while I'm working with clients on their sales copy. My clients are worried, does this sound too salesy? When in fact, not only is it not salesy, but it's actually a fundamental element of sales messaging that is crucial for getting your point across and making that sale. Now, the first thing is to tell people that you have something for sale and how they can go and buy it from you. Now, that may sound really obvious, but people can't buy something that they don't know about. And the fact that you have an offer that you're selling, it might feel really obvious to you, but from your ideal client's perspective, unless they know you have an offer for sale, how are they going to go and buy it? How are they even going to go and check it out and learn more about whether or not they're interested in buying it? So it's really important to make it obvious to your ideal clients that you have something to sell to them by directly telling them what you're selling and how they can get involved. Another important piece of sales messaging is mentioning the name of your product or service multiple times. Just because in the nature of our digital world where our ideal clients are being bombarded with content and marketing messages continuously throughout the day, it's just not realistic that they're going to read every single word of your content or be extremely attentive to everything that you send them. That means that most of the time people are going to be skimming your content. And so it's important to make sure that you're mentioning your product or service and talking about it in clear and specific language multiple times on one sales page or in one email, because people are going to be skimming through your content and won't necessarily catch the name of your product or the fact that you're selling something when you mention it once. You've got to be very clear and specific and mention that offer multiple times so that people know what we're talking about and what you are selling. And the third thing you definitely want to do in your sales copy is talk about how your product or service will solve a problem and relieve a pain point. Many of my clients and students struggle when it comes to talking about problems and pain points in their copy because they don't want to make people feel bad or come across as negative in their content. And you may feel the same way, which is totally understandable. I completely understand not wanting to make people feel bad and wanting to have a positive tone to your copy. And that is perfectly fine. That is perfectly acceptable, and there's a way to talk about problems in a way that doesn't come off as negative. The problem, however, with not talking about the problem that we solve is that most people make decisions based on our survival instincts, and it is human nature to be focused more on moving away from problems or scenarios that you'd like to avoid rather than moving toward a positive scenario that we'd like to experience. So your ideal client is most likely looking for a solution that will take them out of a negative situation rather than something that will move them toward a positive situation. And this is what is top of mind from them when they are looking for a product or service or solution to solve that problem. And if you ignore the problem or pain point that they're experiencing completely, you're actually doing your ideal client a disservice because they're not even going to realize that you can help them, and you'll be preventing them from experiencing the outcome that they actually want through working with you. The main thing that I want you to take away from this video is that when you examine your intentions and you know that your product or service can make a difference and a positive impact in your ideal clients' lives, selling is being of service, because selling is a two-way street. And by presenting your services to potential clients, you are empowering them to make a decision about whether or not they want to purchase from you. It's not forcing anyone to give you money. So by selling your services, you're presenting your ideal clients with an opportunity to acquire or achieve something that they want, and they are fully capable of making a decision as to whether or not they want to take that next step and buy from you or not. So by selling, you are simply being of service and presenting potential clients with an opportunity to get something that they want or need. Now, if you want more tips to help you sell in a way that feels good to you and your audience, be sure to grab my Selling with Empathy roadmap, where I share the 8 steps you need to take to create a sales system in your business that helps you ditch your fear of being salesy so you can start effectively selling to the people who need what you have to offer. Find the link to grab your free Selling with Empathy roadmap in the description. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos coming out every single week. Thanks so much for watching.